Real African stories and real African experiences. This is the Legally Clueless video series. And in this episode, Angela shares lessons she learned in relationships and on Tinder.
So my first ever, toxic relationship, I'd say. I dated this guy for about 2.5 years, roughly. And we thought we were the perfect thing. We had a lot to prove to the world. I mean, being together and how we were going to stay together. And I think that sort of inspired, it became lax, yeah? So for a while, we were in that honeymoon phase and things were good and we were getting along well. We moved in together. And then things just cut off. I would say that's my first toxic experience in a relationship, and it was emotionally draining. I think that was the toxic part of it. Not being able to be me just because I'm trying to fit into this other person's life, or trying to make this other person's life easier while I'm sacrificing my own. Not being heard. Communication was the problem. And things just sort of deteriorated. We were not talking in the same room. And I just decided to leave, which I think was harder than actually being in the relationship because there was so much at stake. And what are people going to say? You guys thought you had the world figured out and things like that. But I realized that I had to do it for myself. Otherwise, I was going to go mad. So I packed up and left. And I think because I had a lot of leftover emotions or leftover love or leftover feelings, I rebounded really quick. So I started dating this guy, and it was nice as well. Moving from something that was not there to something that is actually really there, and almost felt tangible, like you could actually account for the feelings that were not being taken seriously before. So pretty quickly, things started moving pretty quickly. We also moved in together, and we were living the sort of dream, or so I thought that was. But for a while, then after that, I felt like I don't think this is something that I wanted to do, and not so quickly. So I up and left. I woke up one day and I just decided I don't think I want to do this. So I moved back home, and for a while I was like, it's okay. That family, being around family was nourishing in itself, first of all. And then I just decided you don't have to be with someone to feel like you're full, I guess. So I moved back home for about a year, and then I moved out. And then for a while I think I established a pattern, and sort of just went into dating without any basis or structure of trust, or structure of this is what a girlfriend is supposed to do. And I think it's just because I felt like no one could fulfill me the way I wanted or felt like I should be entitled to. So you can say for a while it was like that, in and out of flings, if I can call it that. In and out of flings, but then you start to catch feelings and things become complicated. So that's when I knew what ghosting was, and okay, not for me. Or I was ghosted a while, but then that's when I realized because of feelings, stupid feelings, and imagining that you can be in relationships without calling it a relationship. It's a scam. I was with this guy. It was weekends mostly. And I think it just stemmed out from when I was not single. And I think we just had a friendship. But when we realized, we get along well, we connect on different levels, we talk about everything and stuff. So when I left this other guy, and I was like, okay, now we can probably do this thing. I mean, let's be in this thing. But then it was not a relationship. That's what I mean by having feelings without needing to have the feelings. I think I started wanting much more, and I don't think he was in that space. So the ghosting was like, now it doesn't talk to me on Friday because I'm expecting to see him on Saturday. Then talks to me on Tuesday. I'd be like, okay, I hope you had a nice weekend. So I think, those are some of the things that went wrong. But I realized it's in my stead that I probably was envisioning that this relationship could be something without realizing that it's probably not supposed to be anything than you really want it to be. Okay, I really try to avoid the watery situations. I try to suggest, what could we be? Yeah, which I think is wrong. Don't get me wrong. Which I think is wrong, yeah. But never like upfront, like what are we doing? Because we knew when you were starting this thing, you forget. Yeah. Then you're like, okay, that was last week. That was last month. Today, we are somewhere else. Yeah. So meet me. Yeah. Yeah. So I think you just omit, because also the truth is so hard. You're like, what are we? Then he says, we? What are you going to do? Yeah, so I think even just asking it up front, which should have been number one in my age now, should have been number one. But I think just that rejection or that, like, she's not a we. Yeah, I think that was, we didn't have those conversations because, like I said, it was like weekends and just like stolen moments. Yeah, so we kept we kept them pretty unserious. Like we were, yeah, which was pretty dumb for me to have feelings then. I don't know where they came from. Yeah, but then, of course, there's occasional, like, PMS period. And then you send a long-ass text, yeah, a whole PDF. Yeah, and still not asking what are we. Yeah, you're just like, yo, I feel you, I know you feel me. But never, which was pretty dumb. But yeah. So yeah, that was my first encounter with ghosting. Me being the ghostie. Anyway, so moving from that fling that wasn't a fling, that was a fling. And I guess we stopped talking for a while. So I was like, okay, since we are not anything. Yeah, so I moved on and I happened to meet a younger guy. I think I met him through a colleague. So we started. We used to talk, but it was like, I'm like, what am I telling this guy? I know he has younger chicks. Yeah, so I just was casual about it. But after a while, it became like interesting. Like this could be something. Yeah, but it was nice. It was new. It was young, for lack of another term. It was exciting. I don't know. There was also some mystery, and also I was like, been there, done that. So let me show you how to do that. Yeah. So there was that. It was. I wouldn't say it was a control thing. I think it was just like from a wise perspective, like. I would fit into your life so perfectly if you just let me, yeah? But then also in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, in like a year, you'll get tired of this old lady. Yeah, so I didn't really have like an attachment, but it still felt it was cozy, I would say. And even for a while, I don't think the age mattered, really. It would just maybe come up in a few things, but it was not like always in the back of my head, like this guy is younger than you, get out of there. Or yeah, I guess those were the key differences. But it didn't feel like it was rushed or pushed or it needed to go somewhere real quick. It was in the moment. I think that's what I really liked about it. Yeah, so then COVID hit and I guess working from home and being at home and things like that, I think it just went a bit overboard and we got too used to each other. And I didn't want to necessarily have to look like I was taking care of someone because I also wanted to be taken care of. Chicks are crazy. Yeah, so it just wore its time out, and yeah, we just grew apart, and I felt like, okay, I think I can let you go. It's okay. It's fine. So I just told him, okay, bye, and he packed his things and left. Yeah, and it's been quite a while since that. Yeah, and that's how that went. I miss it, but I don't miss it for I think the right reasons. I think I miss it because, well, it's nice to belong, or it's nice to have someone, or it's nice to have your person and things like that. But sometimes when I'm by myself and I sit, I'm like, I can be my own person. It's okay. It's fine. Yeah, and I think that's where I've reached and realized. So I don't regret like some of those things. It's just I feel, yes, of course, there's a pattern, and my thing now is like to try to erase it or get rid of it or just see what else is out there. I was like, you know what? This is too much effort, first of all. It's too much to get someone on the same page with you. It's too much to even hope or think that someone is thinking the same as you and wanting to do this. So I was like, why not? Let's join Tinder. Let's see what is out there since we can't go out. And maybe we could meet nice people. They can be interesting. We can talk on text. And we can see how we can, get along. Anyway, yeah, so that's Tinder. I think I've been on it for a year. But I'm done. Anyway, so yeah, met a few or talked to a few people and met up with a few, and I would say 90% have ended badly, or okay, didn't take off probably, but have ended badly. I think that experience also just made me feel like there are no people out there, which is a paradox because people are getting married every year. Yeah, but I think that experience also, I mean, based off my past experiences, I don't think I would give him a lot of effort or feel like I need to give a lot of effort because I'm like, it's just going to end in premium tears. I think, yeah, it took a toll on me. Yeah, like I would think, am I not good enough? Or what else do they want? Or should I be this other person for this person to feel me the way I'm feeling? Or if it ended so badly, how can I fix it? Or should I give it like 3 days and then come back and try again? I'm like, why is so much energy? Yeah. So it was not that the app or the experiences are bad, I would say. I think it's just the world itself in how it predisposes you to turn on or turn off your strengths or your weaknesses. Yeah. When I say it like that or when I hear it out loud, it makes a lot of sense. When I had just started on the app, I think the first guy I met, I even feel like saying his name. But anyway, yeah, no, it was nice. I mean, I think we clicked, we talked. I mean, we used to talk almost, I think, every day. And also, I was also not going to do that everyday thing if there's nothing more that's happening. And we had not met yet. So yeah, then we moved to WhatsApp and pictures, I guess, and stuff, my life, talk about work, talk about all the things that, like it was a normal, I would say friendship, I guess. But in the back of your head, you're like, okay, this guy joined Tinder for his own personal reasons. Yourself, you joined for your own personal reasons. You can't now say that now you're off the app and you're on WhatsApp, that he's not still on Tinder. So I used to go back and check his profile to see if he's still active and stuff. Yeah, and which he was, but I wouldn't blame him. We had not met yet. Anyway, so I guess after a few weeks or maybe a month or so, I was like, yeah, let's meet. Let's see what this is. Yeah, but it was nice. I wouldn't say it was bad. But that's when you realize your objectives for joining are two different things, yeah. So it was good for me to realize early that he was just in it for physical activities. Yeah. And if that's not your first, if you're not aligned, those things can go south really quick. Yeah, because me, I was in it for, I guess, companionship. Like that I loved, like, yeah, having someone to talk to who is different from people you talk with, and you're also sort of trying to see what the pool is like. But if your first objective for both of you is different, I think things go south. Yeah. So the sooner you realize that, I think the better. But then that comes in the aspect of trying to fix that. You're like, okay, fine, he wants physical activities, but maybe we can make that number 2. Let's see. Yeah. But you trying to fix that or trying to make that like switch around is a lot of effort. Yeah. So I think when you venture safely. That was the first guy I met off Tinder. And I hadn't realized then that that's what it was. Because, okay, then after we met and yeah, is when I was like, okay, now even the talking becomes less or stuff. So I'm like, okay, then I'm still on this app, yeah, because I'm not going to leave because you made me leave. Who are you? Yeah, so I think I met maybe a few more or tried to talk to a few more. But then another thing that happens is you join this app on your own volition, with your own issues and your own stuff. You don't realize that if and when you meet someone, they also come with their own baggage and their own shit. So you talk, you develop a rapport, whatever, and you sort of like this person. Okay, maybe your objectives also meet, yeah, they align. But then when they start unpacking the baggage, you're like, this is not what I signed up for. I can't do this. It's too much, yeah? So, yeah, it's also a lot to deal with, especially if you also have your own and you also can't just really willingly unpack if you don't know where this is going. But then you need to balance the seesaw. But if you don't do that, then it tends to like flip on the negative for you. So I think I've met, 2 who had too much baggage to deal with, that I was not ready for. I can't, because I'm also, whatever I'm reeling from, for me to be on this app, yeah, it's also going to be a lot. Yeah, so I also don't think I reached that point of necessarily being free or letting my walls down and stuff like that. And those situations got to me and I was like, then maybe it's a me problem. But I'm like, but you have so many issues. Like, give it to me one at a time, first of all. Not like let everything down. I'm like, okay, yeah, people go through it. People have all that. But is Tinder where you're looking for therapy? Or, yeah, so, yeah, those are some of the other funny encounters that happen on Tinder. So I left Tinder for a while. And then I found that I have free time. I was like, what did I used to do in this free time? And then I had ghosted and blocked people. So I was bored. I'm like, let's go back with a new profile and see if, the data will align properly and you meet a different set of guys. Yeah, so then I dabbled in it for a while and still had conversations or met people who were, if not creepy, strange, if not strange, just different. And one thing for me that is, okay, how I single out people from the beginning is, first of all, grammar. If your grammar is very horrible, and especially on your bio, thanks, it's okay, it's fine. I move on from that. And then we go to talk and then you speak even worse than what was in your bio. I'm like, you know what? Thanks for making this extremely easy. And I move on. But I found it was a lot of that. So I'm like, in this free time, I can just develop another hobby. So I quit Tinder. And I was like, if they find me, they'll find me. If curfew stops, we'll go out and we'll see. Yeah, so I quit because it was excessive. It was becoming like a sport. I found that I can fill that time doing other things. Yeah, I don't need that. It's crazy. Anyway, I think what I'd do differently, or if I knew this, what I know now, that I wish I knew then, which is so, it's been oversaid and it's been over expected. I think put yourself first is the major one that I've learned, because I feel like within those relationships or even those situations where I'm trying to meet someone new and we are getting to know each other and I always feel like they should be comfortable before I'm comfortable. I'm like, that's bullshit. I think you need to be at peace with yourself or self-aware of how much you need to be there for yourself first before you can be there for these other people. And I've started with the serial dating side first because those are the ones that really awoke many of those feelings. But I feel like even in my serious relationships where I was with someone and I knew it was going somewhere and they even met the parents and we were going to do things. But I feel like most of it was just pegged on how he feels about it or how he's going to take it or how he would fit in with people, how he would. And I never thought about how, am I ready for this? Do I want this to be there? Do I really feel like we should move on to the next step? How do I feel? I never asked where I stand with being comfortable in that relationship. So had I known this then, I think I'd be better for it, or maybe that relationship would have crumbled before it did, or it would have been further, if anything. But like I say, it's been overstated, like be there for yourself first, or start within you before you start to deduce what other people are going through. I'd also say on the front for ghosting. When I was first ghosted and I'm like, oh, why isn't this person talking to me? Why do they think they can come back in my life and just be like, yo, what you doing? I'm like, And then I'm so ready to reply. I'm like, then I sit down for 3 hours. I'm like, hey, it's been long. Yeah, let me reply now. I'm just chilling. Things like that, just to be available for this person. Then I'm like, you can do the same thing. If you don't feel like talking to this person, Safaricom will not tell them that you're not going to talk to, things like that. And I felt so empowered, like I can do that or block and not care. I wish I knew these things before. But I used to be like, maybe they're waiting for my text, or if I don't text them, they'll think I've died, or, and I really wish I had this superpower then, because I'd be so far, because I've always wanted to be dependable or, okay, in my other facets of life, like at work with my family, I'm that person that you come to because I can do something. But in relationships, I think because they are someone else's son, they're not, they're not within your first ecosystem. You can actually be like, I'll reply next week, or I won't reply. And you can, it's empowering because you're just the same way you're waiting for someone to text you. I don't think it's the same way they're waiting for you to text them. So I wish I knew that before, because I'd have saved myself a lot of struggles and tears and stuff. So I think it just all boils down to you being your person for yourself before you try and be other people. Be someone's person. Yeah, and then it now comes back full circle to all these funny people on Tinder. I think maybe there's like one or two who's probably straight, but they have all their issues, and you also have your own issues. But when you sit yourself down and and have that conversation with, okay, this person is fine, and then they start unloading their things and their drama. I'm like, if I unloaded my things for you, we'd be somewhere else. Yeah. So I think in taking it in stride and just realizing that you also come with your shit, but it depends on how you want to like be vulnerable with, but it's still you that you need to fess up with yourself and be like, this is also your junk. So are you ready to also now like be? So I think I've had so many stories from people, and I'm like, I also have my stuff, but for me to own up to it, I have to come to that realization before I can give it to you. If you can't do that, then also it's something. So it's just a full circle of be there for yourself first, or be your person first before you try to be someone else's. Yeah.
Thanks for watching this episode. Remember, you can catch new Legally Clueless video episodes every Friday and new audio episodes every Monday.